There we go. Hey, everybody. What is up? How is it going? Welcome back to the Lock Boss show and giveaway. I tell you what, super pumped up to be with you here on Christmas Eve. Is that what we got cooking? I think so. How is everybody doing today? Oh, man, I tell you. Just taking a look at the chat here. I tell you what, we're gonna be having a little bit of fun today. All right, we're gonna be, of course, going over the comment of the week, the post of the week. We're going to be talking about a announcement from GMS that I think it's really important that you're in the know on. And then last but not least, we're going to be announcing this week's 5 lucky Lock Boss winners. And, so with that being said, all right, a couple things. I got notification that I'm supposed to be getting the new cabinets for the new studio tomorrow. That's the word on the street. But so I don't know. I doubt by next week. I don't know. Maybe I'll have it done. Maybe the week after. But I tell you what, this studio only has days left, and the Lock Boss season 3 will soon be over. So, kind of sad to see the Lock Boss season 3 end, but I'm gonna be super pumped for season 4, and it's way different. All right, it's way different. So pretty excited about it. Well, I tell you what, as a matter of fact, today, as you can see, my apparel I got on is a little different. And that's because I actually just came from choir. And then as soon as the show's over, I'm going to be going back to choir. So that's kind of what I got cooking in the oven right now. But I tell you what, if you want more where that came from and you were liking today's live show and you want to continue the conversation, you want to talk and hang out with people who like locks and keys and all the locksmithing work that comes with that. Well, I tell you what, joining the after party and hanging out is a lot of fun. Really nice people, and I know you'll love to get to know them. So remember, if you're watching, you're welcome. All right, that's how it works. If you're watching, you're welcome. But it's what you want to do. Okay, is you're going to head on over to the Discord in the link in the comments. Now, the one and only Jimmy J, the Iowa Lock Doc, friend to all lock bosses out there, I tell you, we host it in his Discord. So look for the comment, check it out, and I don't know. As a matter of fact, I just seen a little a couple comments from maybe some lock bosses out there are just starting their Christmas shopping. All right. Now, I would love to tell you what I'm getting the Lockfather for Christmas, but I don't know if he's watching or not, and there's no way I could spoil it from him. But I do plan to have him on next week, and then together, we can kind of talk about it. And oh man, yes, his comments are really distracting. No live stream, Nick. Thank goodness. that might alone prevent me from ever doing it. But now, one other thing I do want to bring up really quick, okay, that you probably don't know, and maybe you want to know, which is tomorrow, Christmas Eve, not today, which is Christmas Eve, but Christmas Eve, the 24th, is the Lockfather's birthday. So, and he's going to be turning what I like to call the tender age of 69. How about that? How about that? And before I keep rambling and forgetting, of course, I'm going to be drinking a brand new, never drank out of, that I know of, Topo Chico. of course, hopefully you're out there drinking a Topo or your favorite beverage of choice. Cheers, y'all out there. Man, it's just as good every time. Now, I do have a little confession, Julio. You can hold the confession music, okay? It's a quick one. I am drinking a little bit of that black bean juice right there, and I almost dumped it out, but I'm drinking a little of that black bean juice. Good. All right, so let's go ahead and let's hop into today's show. I tell you what, I'm happy I get to be here with you all. Now, Julio, hopefully you're out there. If you are, definitely feel free to put on a little bit of music while we get going. All right, but I'm going to leave that up to you today. It's Christmas Eve, and I don't want to be too pushy. Okay, not too, a little pushy, but not too pushy. All right, here we go. Post of the week. This one comes from Dan P. Dan P says, "Hey, all, just wanted to say thank you again for the $500 gift card and for running the Lock Boss show and giveaway every week. The videos that you create are both informative and entertaining, and the giveaways add to the fun. I used my $500 card toward a new Raymond 2 code machine and loving it so far. I cut a few keys with it after taking this picture, and what a difference between that and trying to use space and depth keys on the Fully Bell Saw Model 200. That's next to it. The framing is super accurate and a breeze to use. Also, thank you for finding one of the dialed-in safeties in my size, even though it was showing out of stock on the website. You are all the best. Thanks again, and we'll see you on this week's live stream." Well, Dan P, I tell you what, first and foremost, awesome picture. Love seeing that. The framing too. I don't know if you've noticed, but they've been changing some of the the aluminum components on the framing too to the blue color. Pretty cool. Loving the black base also. And of course, seeing everything else is awesome. The one and only Fully Bell Saw Model 2. I don't know, is that still sold? I'm guessing not, but man, that's an oldie but a goodie. We got the Lock Boss pinning mat. I'm seeing, of course, the dialed in. Got a couple fruit snacks, key gauge, keys, cutter wheels. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot, Dan P. I really hope that machine will help you bring in the income for the biz for sure. I think it was a really good choice, and I'm really happy that you shared what you got with the $500. So really cool, and really appreciate it. All right, let's go to the next one here. So we're going to be going to the comment of the week. And hold on here. Julio, there's no confession, okay? I don't know why you'd be doing a confession in the middle of the part here, but yeah, Julio, feel free at any time to move on to something different here. Okay, let's go to the comment of the week. This one comes from Robert Thompson, 4965. I love the look of the trailer. The Lockfather did it right. Gives me some advertising ideas. Hashtag Lockboss. Yeah, Robert, I'll tell you what, I think he did it right too. And the one thing the Lockfather has always been really good at is creative marketing, doing something unique, doing something different. That sort of thing is something that the Lockfather has always been good at. And if you haven't seen all the different crazy things that he's done, check out our channel. I don't know, maybe hashtag Lockfather or marketing or something like that. And you should be able to see a whole bunch of different things if you haven't already. Different vehicles, advertising kind of different events, of course, the trailers, you name it. That is what he just loves to do it, honestly. He absolutely loves it. So, and I think that was trailer number 2. There may or not be a number 3. Okay, you'll have to stay tuned for that. And I tell you what, coming up here in the new year, you're going to see a van tour of Kid Lock's new van. Pretty cool. It was a lot of fun and looking forward to sharing it with you all. All right. So here in a minute, we're going to be hopping into this week's discussion on GMS's new announcement. And first and foremost, though, before we do it, I'd like to, since we're all friends here. Oops, I might have just kicked it. There we go. All right, now since we're all friends here, okay, we're just gathered around having a conversation. I'd like you to tell me something. As a matter of fact, Julio, if you could get some confession music on, but this time the confession music isn't for me. Okay, it's going to be for you if you want it. All right, which is this. How many of you have ever stripped out a Phillips or flathead screw on a mortise cylinder? All right. How many of you out there? Now, no one else is watching. It's only me and you. So feel free. You can be honest about it. Julio has a confession music on. Now, if you by chance maybe have never done that, okay? Maybe you never have because you know better. How many of you have went to a job to rekey some cylinders and you're unscrewing the mortise cylinder and you pull it out, and lo and behold, when you look at the back where the tailpiece is, you see stripped out screws. Have you ever been there before? Come on, if you haven't done the stripping yourself, I'm guessing that you have encountered one that you're like, wow, okay, so normally this is a quick, to Phillips on the back. But now I'm going to have to drill them. And hey, where do I keep those replacement screws? Right? I mean, it's just a reality of it. And, it's been one of those things over the years, different companies have actually made different tools just to help you get those out. Because if you look at the little cylinders, a lot of them are going to have some of that Loctite on it, right? Now, typically blue, not red, but nonetheless, you need the tailpiece on a mortise cylinder to stay in place. Otherwise, it can create problems, right? It's one of the it's moving around, right? It's pressing on things, and if it's not tight, it's going to create not only issues with opening and closing, but then the key, right? The key kind of gets locked in there. You have to put your finger on it, pull the key out. Now, these are problems that we've all had. And if you're new and you don't know what I'm talking about, trust me, at some point you will know. So let me look at the comments here for a second. And I'm guessing, yep, I've seen, okay, red Loctite on them. Yep, Kedex makes a tool for that. But it's really crazy when you sorry, I'm reading the comments here. Okay, as Nick says, Kedex makes the tool, right? It's an expensive tool. So it's like, if you really think about it, why are we having to spend, I don't know, $50 or $100 on a tool just to make sure we don't strip out Phillips screws on mortise cylinders? It's not great, right? It's not a great thing, and it's something that I don't think anyone's excited for. And trust me, it seems to happen when you're in a hurry or you can't find any other screws laying around to replace them with, right? I mean, we do sell them. Of course, we don't mind you buying them, but if possible, we all want to avoid that. We all want to avoid that thing. So with that being said, right, there's those who are like, hey, it is what it is. And then there's those who say, hey, let's fix the problem. And with that being said, I want to present to you GMS. All right, let's hop in it here. GMS announced on December 16th, attention GMS customers. GMS would like to inform you that we are transitioning from Phillips screws to Torx screws on most of our products. This is part of our ongoing effort to reduce the likelihood of can't speak all of a sudden, stripped out screw heads and improve product durability. This changeover is already underway. I can't speak all of a sudden. Let me start over again. I apologize, or I can't read, I guess, but this changeover is already underway, and timing on receipt of inventory will vary by product. Customers can expect to see the approximate torque sizes matched to their corresponding cylinders as, I'm going to guess, inventory comes in, because I can't see myself on that. All right. As inventory comes in. Yep. All right. So, yes, I do need a Torx tongue for this. Okay. So I see some of you in there already kind of asking some of the questions about it, and watch this. Are you ready? Can you guess what that is? Of course, it's a Torx. But here you go. Here are the sizes that you need to make sure are in your tool bag. Let's see. For mortise cylinder standard, you're looking at the T8 head, which was started to be implemented 9 weeks ago. The ICM, ICT, SM or SCMs, the IC, all of those use the T8 size. T6 size for the ICRs, also implemented 9 weeks ago. For the T15, we're looking at the ICS, the rim mounting, and the LFICP. Those are also been implemented recently. Next, we got the T9 for the ICM cylinders, and the T25 for the profile cylinders. And I tell you what, every time I hear the word profile cylinder, I don't know why, but I always think back to Adrian and I's conversation about those funky ones that he has. And by the way, Adrian, on a side note, I may have found a solution for you that you may not know that might be helpful. So remind me at a future time, because I've been meaning to bring it up to you for like 2 months, and we get so sidetracked on all the other fun stuff. But anyway, so maybe take a screenshot of this, maybe not, but you want to make sure that you have, in a recap, the T8, T6, T8, T9, T15, and T25 sizes if you are buying GMS cylinders, or you may encounter some GMS cylinders out in the field. All right. So keep that in mind as you are doing that. Now, I did go down actually, and before the show here, just a few minutes before, and I was kind of scouring the inventory and trying to see if I could find any, and I couldn't quickly. I didn't open all the boxes up, but the packs of 10 on the outside of the 10, all of them that we have don't have the little, oh, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself, PJ. One more slide. So if I can retract my previous 30 seconds and insert this. To help you identify new inventory, we will place a small Torx symbol in the upper left corner of the outside shelf pack label to call out these come with Torx screw. All right. So when you get a box of GMS product in the future, okay, and as a matter of fact, it tells me it will be. If you look on that picture, you'll see where it says 10 pieces. So this picture came from a 10 pack. So it will say on there. So you will see the Torx symbol at the top left. Now, as I was saying, I actually went down and was looking through all of our inventory, and at least at first glance, I didn't see any that has the Torx in there. which is good. I feel better that we've been able to, or I've been able to make this announcement before you actually start getting them, right? So hopefully you already have Torx in the toolbox or the tool bag, but if you don't, over the next 6 months to a year, my guess is that you're going to be using it. But I would like to ask, how many of you are happy about this, and how many of you wish that stuck to that GMS stuck to the Phillips? So this is just me asking. This isn't GMS. I'm just curious about it. At first, my first thought or feeling was like, oh man, like this might be kind of annoying a little bit. But then I was like, this actually really does help prevent stripped out screws, right? And as someone pointed out in the comments, the Kedex jig is actually like $100 and some dollars. So, hopefully we don't have to do that, and using the Torx is going to actually be very helpful. So I'm looking forward to what you guys think. So do you think it's a positive thing, or do you think it's a maybe not so positive thing? Of course, I'd love to know what you think. Let's see here. I have not had a big issue with Phillips, but more stuff is using the Torx. Yeah. The interesting thing truly, okay, is a lot of the problems tend to be with like the Conair style, cheap little zinc cylinders. Those ones in particular seem to be absolutely terrible. But, the brass ones as well can have the same problem. It's just people hurrying, or, just forbid that I don't know if you've ever seen it, but someone's going to put, they have a mortise cylinder, they put the little screw on, they put the tailpiece on, they put the screw, and they grab their 18-volt setting on to drill, and they're right. And it's like, oh no. So, doing that is not ideal. For the record, okay, resist at minimum, crank that sucker down to 1 or 2, at least at first, or best case, just, use a hand, just use something easier. But let's see here. What size Torx is the new screw? George Blair, how are you doing, sir? I hope things are going good. Hey, Robert Calc actually answered it. And George, let me just pull this back up for you, just so you can have it. I'll do right here. You can see the size. So you're going to want T6, T8, T9, T15, and T25, as Robert Calc Jr. says. So Robert, thanks for that. And of course, on the outside of the box, you can see the little Torx symbol there. All right. So that's going to let you know when you start getting your GMS cylinders, hopefully from us, for the record, hopefully from us. When you get them at the top, you're going to start to see that introduced. So, yeah, so that's really what I wanted to talk about today. I thought it was a important enough thing to actually have a little conversation about it and keep you informed. But let's see. Yeah, a lot of people are very positive in the comment section. Let's see. Let's see here. FTFP Chris, what's up? He says, guess what happens when they do that with a Torx and a hammer drill? Oh my gosh. Now, guys, I'm only saying this, okay, because like when I was giving that example, and I do have a tendency, or have had tendencies, to want to grab the electric drill and get a little aggressive and maybe not look at what setting my drill was on, okay? Julio, let's not do the confession music, okay? Let's not do it. But let's just say that sometimes the only way to learn, though, is when you do it and then you mess it up. But I think the worst situation, right, is that when maybe you're the one who messes it up, or you're like, it's still fine, and it's not. It's not, especially when there's Loctite on there. We need to keep those things. So I'm excited. So I don't have any to test. So I haven't got to see one here yet. Maybe I'll do a quick short or something when they come out, or on a live, I'll show you and we'll play with it a little bit. But yeah, I think it's, so to recap, at first for me, I was kind of like, man, that might be a bummer. But then I'm like, we should already have Torx in our bag, right? In our tool bag. If we don't, let's consider getting it. Maybe Santa will be bringing them in a couple days. Okay. Call the Santa hotline and make your request if not. Okay. But with that being said, that way, if we can prevent it and get them nice and snug, I think all in all, it's a positive thing. So, and showing from all the comments here, I think a lot of people would agree. Let's see here. I like it. Sorry, I don't know how to say that name entirely. I apologize. Says as long as they include a Torx bit with every box. So many places do that. But although I will say a lot of times when they do include them, it's kind of like let's talk about this for a minute. We'll move on to the giveaways here. But how many of you, when you get some sort of like little thing that you have to assemble, okay? You assemble this little thing and it comes with, there's some screws you have to use or some Allens. How many of you use like the little toolkit that comes with it? You know what I'm talking about? It's like, it looks like a little laser cut wrench cut out, and they want you to use that to tighten all of the nuts on whatever you're working on. I don't know about you, but I don't use them. I go and get my own tools and get it done. But I mean, I get it if you're not expecting it and you get a Torx, but I don't know. So I guess this is what I'm trying to say. That was the long way of saying that. A lot of times, if a item comes with the tool, and that item, like in GMS's case, is like $10, or even if it's like $100 item, maybe not $100 item. I'm guessing that it's not good. As a matter of fact, do I have it on me? No, the Ridge, I have a Ridge wallet, right? And mine came with like the little tool for the little Torx on those. And it's actually pretty decent quality. But yeah, okay. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, Jeff also doesn't use the free tool, Now, I don't know about you guys also, though. If I can put it on an electric drill, though, I'm using it. You know how many, for years, I don't have any kids in cribs anymore, but you know how you can get like one of those like cribs that converts to like a toddler bed. You know what I mean? Like you take off one piece, you put on this little like half, and then you lower the bed down as they get bigger. We had one of those that we used for all 3 kids. And I tell you what, how you had to do some of the Allens, I had to use the tool they provided and I couldn't use my own, and it drove me crazy. It drove like anytime my wife would be like, hey, PJ, could you lower that bed down a little bit? All I could think of is that one or those 2 screws, those 2 Allen screws that I had to use manually. Anyways, I digress. But all in all, I think it's cool. I really appreciate GMS making an announcement about it, kind of giving us a heads up. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, because maybe you joined a little late, just rewind this live video here in a little bit when it's done and check it out. Maybe do a screenshot or 2, but or check out the comments. But let's see here. King's Classic Locksmith. Well, let's see what this says. T15 equals 15 forced torque. I have a mini driver that may push 5 pounds of torque. Okay, interesting. I didn't know that that's what those meant. So I may have learned something there. Pretty cool. Let's see here. But all right. So with that being said, everybody, I hope that's helpful. Thanks for your comments on that. If you've liked today's live, go and hit that like button. And if you didn't like the live, maybe hit the like button anyways too. I don't know. It's best with you guys. As always, you don't have to hit it, but you can. All right. You can. All right. With that being said, hey, let's hop into this week's Lucky Lock Boss winners. How about that? Let's do it. Now, before I announce them though, let's make sure we're on the same page on what to do if you email us your shipping info to sales@clksupplies.com or call us at 800-848-6989 and we'll send your gifts soon. How to win. Comment on our videos with the hashtag LockBoss. Winners will be chosen from comments on the previous week's videos for our weekly giveaway. My favorite part, no purchase necessary. All right. With that being said, here we go. Good luck to you all. Winner number one this week is Natush5213. Congratulations. I don't know if I probably didn't say that right, though. Apologize. Winner number two is Locksmith with a X, LOXSMITH. I see what you did there. I like it. Congratulations. Here we go. Winner number three is C Engineering PV8 UW. I like it. Congratulations. Winner number four is O0 the Rusty Spoon. Congratulations. And last but not least, winner number five this week is TX Rebel Combat Vet. Congratulations. Also, thanks for serving there. And very cool. So that's our five lucky winners this week. How about that? Let me hop over here into the comments. Let's see here. Jeff asks, are they security Torx or security Torx? I don't know that yet. I haven't seen them, but I'm sure I will soon. Every time I see we're getting a new GMS shipment, I'm going to be over there being like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? But and seeing them. But I would imagine just standard Torx. But well, yeah. Congratulations once again to this week's five lucky winners. And I'll tell you what, season LockBoss season 3 is headed to a close pretty soon. All of this that you see behind me is going to be gone. The new toolboxes that I ordered in, I think it was September, actually, are supposed to be arriving tomorrow. Super excited to see them. And the new, the bench top, all that kind of stuff. And I'm really looking forward to starting the LockBoss Season 4. The lives will be different. It's all going to change, folks. It's all going to change. And I hope you really like it. Of course, we're going to have lots of winners, lots of prizes, and most importantly, lots of fun. So, yes. But I can't wait. I know the Lockfather, he's been knowing this is coming, and he's like, hey, what are you doing with that toolbox? I don't know. We'll have to see. But pretty excited, everybody. Well, hey, make sure if you want more where that came from, head on over to our friend, the one and only Jimmy J Lock Docs Discord. Link in the comments. Remember, if you're watching, you're welcome. All right. If you're watching, you're welcome. Head on over there. I'm going to hop in. Okay. So here in a minute, I'm going to have to leave, head back to the choir. Okay. I skipped one of the services to be here with you all, and I'm going to have to hop back over to the choir. But the plan is from here in just a few minutes to my drive over, I want to hop in, hang out with you guys for a little bit and say hi. But anyways, with that being said, if I don't talk to you between now and next Tuesday, I'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas from all of us over here at CLK Supplies. And I know the nature of the beast with locksmithing is that a lot of times you're going to be working. All right. And just know that all of us over here really appreciate you all. And I also sincerely hope that you're able to get a little bit of downtime. Fun fact. Okay. Last Christmas, a year ago, I actually signed escrow documents for the Lockpicks Brockage deal on Christmas Day. So I'm going to try to take a little bit of my own advice and try to unplug a little bit and enjoy with my friends and family, and of course, also celebrate the Lockfather's birthday tomorrow. But anyways, you all have a wonderful Christmas coming up here. Stay safe out there. Okay, stay smart, stay safe, and we'll see you all next week. All right, y'all take care.